So this week we are covering jQuery, and I don't find jQuery to be all that difficult, but it is a JavaScript library and it is large. So there is a lot of material. So you may want to go through the material in more than one sitting in order to absorb it correctly. And we are going to be working with not only jQuery, but JavaScript throughout the rest of the semester. And you're going to start by reading chapter 7 in the book. And then you're going to want to go through the chapter 7 key concepts, which I have added videos for. And the videos you will see right below the overview. So when you guys come in here, there's going to be a bunch of videos for you to watch. And the videos are on each section, kind of giving you an explanation of the material and walking you through some of the examples. So make sure you go through this because the book does give you information, but it's pretty general and it's not super specific. So this is going to give you a little bit more specific information on jQuery. Then you're going to go through your programming assignment. And so this is where you're really going to start understanding how to use jQuery. And the very first exercise has you convert JavaScript to jQuery. And once you understand how to convert JavaScript to jQuery, you are going to understand jQuery. And I have a similar example for you to work with. Basically, this example is the BMI application. And I kind of describe how to convert it. And I also have a video showing you how to convert it. And you're going to do the same type of thing for wind chill factor. And you're just going to be converting your JavaScript to jQuery. Then you're going to create a drag and drop interface. And this is going to be like a word scramble. I have a video that kind of walks you through this. It is super easy to do the draggable interface in jQuery. It's easy and it's fun. So this is designed to get you familiar with using draggable. And then you get to create your own little drag and drop creation. And a lot of students choose to use this exercise as part of their final project, and that is absolutely fine. If you're going to use it as part of your final project, what you're probably going to want to do, a lot of students will take like photos, break them into pieces and create puzzles. Have a couple different puzzles that the user can pick from. I've also had students do like the old color forms where they've got, one student did actually a really funny one. It was a dancing cartoon T-Rex. And then he had clothes that you could put on the T-Rex, and it was hysterical. So that was one of his, but he had a couple others that he added in so that the user could actually pick, you know, which one they wanted to play. So this can be used for this assignment and also your final project. Then finally, you're going to do a jQuery list app. So in the book, they have a grocery list. And I don't want you to do a grocery list. You can do a bucket list, a wish list, a to-do list, a honey-do list, any kind of list you want, but it cannot be the same as the book. I did include the code from the book, but the code from the book, the CSS is super confusing because it includes all of the CSS for every single example in the chapter. So what I did was I did my own little version, and I'm only including the CSS that we actually need for this particular project. So you can look at my example. I also did a little video explaining to you what the jQuery code is doing. So I've got actually the running app on the left and the code on the right, and kind of working through how the jQuery code works. I also did a completely separate example that is simpler than the textbook one, and it's quite powerful. So you can certainly do something like the second version, and I have a video that kind of goes through how it works, and I explain the code in that one as well. There are other ways of creating a list. So if you don't like either of these versions, you can come up with your own. What you have to have in your list app is you have to use jQuery. You have to allow for items to be added. You have to allow for items to be removed. And you need to display how many items are in the list. Okay, so those are minimal requirements. And if you want to come up with your own creative way of accomplishing the task, that is awesome. Okay, so that is the assignment. And once you are done with the assignment, then you can work on your term project proposal. So I do have a video that explains the entire term project, what you need to submit for the proposal, and what you should be doing for the first milestone. The only thing that is due at the end of the week is the proposal. And the proposal is short. You don't have to do a lot for the proposal. Okay? In fact, the proposal is basically you just tell me what 3 games you're planning and give me a little summary of each one. Okay? That's all you have to do. So there's nothing time consuming about doing the proposal. And if you change your mind in 3 weeks or 4 weeks and you want to do a different game, that is okay. You just need to give me a heads up. Just say, hey, this is way too complicated. I'm going to change it to this. That's perfectly fine. So even though you're proposing 3 games, you are not locked into it by any means. Okay, so that is the proposal. It is worth points, and it should not take you very long to do. Okay, and for your milestone, that is not due for a couple weeks, like middle of October. But the milestone is not going to be very hard to do because it's basically HTML5 and CSS or CSS3. And it's your game interface. So that should be kind of a fun thing to do. And I wouldn't even worry about the showcase. I'm not even going to talk about that until next week. Okay, the showcase is just how you're going to be sharing your milestones as you complete them. And we're going to share them in a discussion. So that's really all you need to worry about at this point. If you run into problems or you have questions, maybe there's something that you encounter in jQuery that you want explained more, or something's not working, post it to the question answer forum and I will address it. If you wanted to see the publisher's PowerPoint presentation, you certainly can download it. Although the Chapter 7 Key Concept lecture is much more detailed, and I think you'll get a lot more out of that. And as always, if you guys have any questions or you run into problems, please let me know, and have a great week.